the world peace and human being behavior. What causes quarrel and what causes fights among you? Is it not this that your passion are at war within you? Your desire and do not have? So your matter. You covet and cannot obtain. So you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask. The fate of the world is unpredictable. The world peace is at the stake. Every day the world is making a turn for the worst. Violence, crimes, wars, expansionist ambition, countries are invading its weak neighbors, and disaster become the everyday news. We all are living in an uncertainty environment. No one life is safe in the world. At any moment, the nuclear countries can make the world become a hell because of their expansionist ambitions. No one life is safe in the world. We are living in a constant fear, and there is no hope that a day the world could become peaceful. Humans are incapable of bringing peace in the world. I refuse to terrorize because of evil nature that cannot be peaceful. God was not created evil. Here I support Socrates by thinking that no one wants to bring harm upon him. No one wants to do wrong. Human being behavior is governed on the basis of some idea, right and wrong. However, it is difficult for human to select right because of its ignorance. The evil tendency of human is a cause of ignorance. As Socrates stated, all wrongdoing is the result of ignorance. Ephesians 4 verse 18 stated, they are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them. Due to their hardness of heart, ignorance transforms men to evil. Someone can be evil by destroying another person, but do not destroy himself. Humankind works at their own destruction. It is not because they are evil, but because they are ignorant. The invention of nuclear weapons to destroy the world is not evil. It is a lack of intelligence. It is ignorance. Human beings do not know what they are doing. I do not want to insult people who think they are intelligent. However, I try to apply what the Bible indicates me to do. And if I fail to do so, I will be guilty for hiding the truth. Ezekiel 33 verse 8 read, if I say to the wicked, O the wicked one, you shall surely die, and you do not ask to warn the wicked to turn from his way, that wicked person shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hands. Because of the ignorance, human beings are devouring their own kind. Because of ignorance, human beings become greedy. Because of ignorance, men become evolved from men. The Latin tradition is homo homini lupus est. Man is worst enemy of his own kind. Human being ignorance make it difficult to expect peace on earth. I refuse to hold that peace will never reign on earth. But it will take long before human being can reach level of intelligence and civilization. I strongly doubt that the life of that humankind is living now is a civilized life. Fighting, killing, without a just cause cannot be civilized. It is uncivilized. It is savage. Humankind passions are primitive. American Congress refused to approve the gun control law, while 100,000 people die by gun violence every year. It is not a rational decision. It is irrational. It is not civilized. It is primitive passion. In a simple term, it is savage. We are living in a primitive state within a developing world. Human beings cannot call civilized because while they are committing crime against the civilization. In my judgment, some aspects of civilization seem really negative. Savage, primitive, Holocaust, warfare, slavery. Napoleonic wars, religion wars, First World and Second World Wars, Rwanda massacres, Iraqi quagmire, recent Egyptian massacres, just to name a few. Those crimes do not reflect the civilization. It is not human. It is inhuman. It is not rational. It is irrational. I don't think no we could be human. But it will be when the savage, the brute, ignorance disappear in us, and we could be humanized, and peace will flourish, establish on earth. All those steps cannot be accomplished without the strong hand of God. He is the only peace giver. Man cannot provide peace. Isaiah 45 verse 7 said, I form the light and create the darkness. I make the peace and create evil. The Lord do all things. War become a subculture for men. They are incessantly preparing for war. Most of the countries on earth spend more capital in munitions than education. Many countries on earth have sophisticated weapons that can destroy the world. They are spending an exorbitant amount of money advancing nuclear weapons. I contend that this is not true when the nuclear powers said they are having those weapons to deter other nations. If atomic bomb could be used in 1945, they will have a day they will use it again. They will have a day nations will be used nuclear weapons against nations. They invent them for a reason. They will never invent them if they don't have in their mind to use them a day. Human beings are not preparing for peace. They are preparing for war. Men are incapable to bring peace in the world, but only God can do so. God herald that men are bad. Therefore, there will be no peace on earth. Isaiah 57 verse 20 and 21 it stated, but the wicked are like the troubled sea, when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no way peace can establish on earth without God. Even the richest person on earth cannot buy peace. Even the most powerful countries cannot bring peace on earth. John 16 verse 33 started, I have told you, so that me you may have peace. In this world you may have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Men can have everything they want, but peace. They are fighting for peace, but they ignore that the war they cannot bring peace. They do not believe in peace. Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt started, it is not to talk about peace. One must believe in it. And it's not enough to believe in it. One must work at it. War will gender more wars. It is irrational to think, to treat disease by disease, to treat wrong by wrong. Men do not know the truth. As a result, they are fighting each other. World diplomats are looking for peace in the world. They failed. After the First World War, that was a global-centered war in Europe, in which more than 9 million combatants were killed. After the war, the League of Nations formed in order to prevent the repetition of another barbarity at such proportion. It was a good idea. However, the aim failed because human beings cannot establish peace in the world. They think they control the world. It is inertia. They keep moving at the same direction. Ignorance ingrains within man. They cannot know themselves. How? They cannot understand the world. It is time for men to reveal that the world is under God's control. Ignorance prevents them to recognize the truth. They must have for the fear for God before peace can come on earth. Romans 3 verse 17 and 18 started, in the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Politicians, diplomats, nation can cite treaties until they become tired. Peace will never reign on earth till human beings know that God is the Prince of Peace. The League of Nations could not prevent the Second World War. It was a global war from 1939 to 1945, and no one is certain of the number of the people who lost their life in that quagmire. But they speculate the figure is around 50 to 70 million of people. It is really a shame for the world that pretend to be a civilized world, where human beings act worse than animals. They are failing to consider the fact that God only can bring peace in the world. During the presidency of Richard Nixon in 1970, in his election speech he said, "Peace, a generation of peace. We shall have a generation of peace, something we have never had in this nation." He failed to accomplish it. The United Nations came into existence in 1945. It came into existence after the aftermath of the World War II. United Nations was formed to establish peace in the world. It came into existence to accomplish what the League of Nations failed to accomplish. Since the existence of United Nations, the world has never been a day of peace. When I talk about peace, people have to understand that peace is not only the absence of war, but it could be a state of friendship between God and man. This peace between a holy God and saintly mankind has been effected by Christ's sacrificial death, having made peace through the blood of his cross. Colossians 1 verse 20. The world has a long history of a pattern of war, according to the media, from 36 before Christ to 1945. There have been 40,555 wars. Since 1945 to the mid-60s, there had been 70 wars, and there had 164 international significant outbreaks of violence involving 82 nations. As we know, there are 196 countries in the world, and more than 82 nations have been involved in conflict and wars. Therefore, that can tell us that war is an epidemic in the world. Since ignorance is the cause of war, it's also a cancer, an epidemic on earth. Ephesians 4 verse 18 and 19 started, "Been darkened in their understanding, excluded from the life of God because of the ignorance that it is in them, because of the hardness of their heart, and they having become callous, having given themselves over to sensuality for the practice of every kind of impurity with greediness." If we consider ourselves as a citizen of the world, the international wars or conflict could be diminished. Nations could stop invading nations just to protect our national interests. It is natural to respect the prosperity, the territory of others. Marcus Tullius Cicero was a woman philosopher, politician, lawyer, orator, political theorist, consult, and constitutional statute. If each one of us should sit upon the property of his neighbors and take from each whatever he could appropriate to his own use, the bonds of human society must inevitably be annihilated. It is forbidden by nature to destroy Haitian agriculture, to exploit the natural wealth of any other poor countries in order to multiply the wealth of your country. The law of nature do forbid us to increase our wealth and resources by despoiling others. We have to consider the mankind inalienable rights, the right to life, the right to liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The country foreign policy must have a moral vision. Life is not only about gold, diamond, oil, in other words, natural wealth, but it is about respecting the commandments of God. It is about knowing that all of us are human beings. No one can be a human being and treat someone else as an animal. No nation can be civilized and treat another nation as primitive. Everyone can provide what he has. Every nation will treat another nation according to the level of its civilization. A foreign policy based only on national self-interest will make the country behave as savage, uncivilized. Justice reflects goodness, kindness, high stage of cultural or civilization within humankind. As Plato said, justice is profitable because it makes you just. Justice is a high level of civilization. It would be more benefit than injustice. There is only one world, and it is for all. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 21 is stated, where you call a slave, do not worry about it. But if you are able also to become free, rather do that. Men are incapable to bring peace in the world. Human beings make the world become a hell because of their ignorance. They do not know the truth. And because of that, they will never bring peace in the world. They have to observe the commandment of God before he can establish peace in the world. He is the Prince of Peace. Politicians of the world have to know that they do not own the world. It belongs to God. We all are the citizens of the world. Therefore, we also inherit the wealth of world. All barbarian acts, including wars, conquering other nation by force, controlling the destiny of other nation, must be stopped so that human beings can have flair of civilization. If the League of Nations and United Nations fail to bring peace in the world, men have to realize that only God can make peace flourishes on earth. John 16 verse 33 is stated, I have said those things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation. But take heart, I have overcome the world. God bless all. Thank you.